Eid-ul-Adha, it's a big deal for Muslims. We celebrate it with so much joy. It's a time for family, friends, and faith. We remember the importance of sacrifice. This festival brings us together. Eid-ul-Adha falls on the 10th of Dhul-Hijjah. This is the last month in the Islamic calendar. It's a time of pilgrimage to Mecca. Millions of Muslims go there. They perform Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Eid-ul-Adha reminds us of Prophet Ibrahim's story. His willingness to sacrifice his son is powerful. It teaches us about obedience to God. We learn about faith and trust. This festival is about more than just rituals. It's about helping those in need. It's about sharing what we have. It's about being thankful for our blessings. Prophet Ibrahim had a dream. In this dream, he saw himself performing an act that would test his faith and devotion to God in the most profound way. It was not just any dream, it was a divine vision that carried a significant message and a monumental task. God asked him to sacrifice his beloved son Ismail. This was not an easy command. It was a test of ultimate loyalty and submission to God's will. Ibrahim, being a prophet, understood the gravity of this divine instruction. Imagine the emotions Ibrahim must have felt. Love, fear, confusion, everything. He was a father, and the thought of losing his son was heart-wrenching. Yet his faith in God was unwavering. He knew that God's wisdom was beyond human comprehension. He knew he had to obey God's command. With a heavy heart but a resolute spirit, Ibrahim prepared himself for the task. He turned to prayer, seeking strength and guidance from God. His determination was fueled by his deep faith and trust in God's plan. Ibrahim told his son about the dream. Ismail, despite being young, was incredibly brave. He understood the significance of his father's vision and the importance of obeying God's command. His courage and maturity were beyond his years. He told his father to trust in God. Ismail's faith was as strong as his father's. He reassured Ibrahim, showing a remarkable level of faith and submission. He was ready to face whatever was required of him. Trusting that God had a greater plan, he was ready to be sacrificed. This act of readiness was not just about physical preparation. It was a profound spiritual commitment. Ismail's serene expression reflected his inner peace and acceptance of God's will. What a powerful example of faith and submission. Both father and son demonstrated an extraordinary level of devotion. Their story is a testament to the strength of their belief and their willingness to surrender to God's will, no matter how difficult the command. Just as Ibrahim was about to make the sacrifice, God intervened. An angel appeared, bringing a message of mercy and relief. This divine intervention was a sign that Ibrahim's faith had been recognized and rewarded. He replaced Ismail with a ram. Ibrahim's sacrifice was complete. This act symbolized the ultimate test of faith and the mercy of God. The ram became a symbol of God's provision and the fulfillment of his promise. His faith had been tested and proven. Ibrahim's relief and gratitude were immense. He had passed the most challenging test of his life, and his unwavering faith had been rewarded by God. This story is central to Eid-ul-Adha. It is a time when Muslims around the world commemorate Ibrahim's devotion and God's mercy. Families come together to celebrate, reflecting on the values of sacrifice and faith. It reminds us of the importance of sacrifice. The act of sacrificing an animal during Eid-ul-Adha is a symbolic gesture that honors Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son and God's provision of the ram. It teaches us that we should put our trust in God, no matter how difficult the situation. Faith and trust in God's wisdom can guide us through the toughest times. It shows us that, even in the toughest moments, faith can guide us. The story of Ibrahim and Ismail is a timeless reminder of the power of faith, the importance of obedience to God, and the ultimate reward of unwavering devotion. Eid-ul-Adha is a deeply spiritual time. It's a time to reflect on our own relationship with God. Would we be willing to make sacrifices for our faith? It's a question we all ask ourselves. The sacrifice of Prophet Ibrahim is a reminder. It shows us the strength of faith. It teaches us to surrender to God's will. Even when we don't understand, we must trust. His plan is always for the best. This festival pushes us to look inward. It asks us to examine our own intentions. Are we living our lives in accordance with God's teachings? Are we striving to be better people? Eid-ul-Adha is a wake-up call. It's a time to renew our commitment to our faith. It's a time to seek forgiveness for our shortcomings. It's a time to start fresh. Section 4. A day of joy and sharing. Eid-ul-Adha is a celebration that brings immense joy and a sense of togetherness. It is a time when families and friends gather to commemorate the spirit of sacrifice and sharing. Families and friends come together dressed in their finest new clothes. The air is filled with excitement and anticipation. We share delicious food prepared with love and care, making the day even more special. It's a time for laughter and joy. Children play, adults catch up, and everyone enjoys the festive atmosphere. The sound of laughter and the sight of smiling faces are everywhere. The day starts with a special prayer. We gather at the mosque early in the morning, joining our community in a beautiful and solemn congregation. We go to the mosque early in the morning, walking together with our neighbors and friends. The streets are filled with people heading to the mosque, creating a sense of unity and purpose. We listen to the Eid sermon, which reminds us of the significance of the day and the values of compassion, generosity, and sacrifice. The sermon inspires us to be better individuals and to contribute positively to our community. We pray together as a community, standing shoulder to shoulder. It's a beautiful and unifying experience that strengthens our bonds and reaffirms our faith. It's a beautiful and unifying experience. People from all walks of life come together, showcasing the diversity and unity within our community. After prayers, the sacrifice takes place. It's called Qurbani. This act of sacrifice is a reminder of Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to God. We sacrifice an animal, usually a sheep or a goat. This act symbolizes our willingness to give up something valuable in devotion to God. The meat is divided into 3 parts. This division ensures that the blessings of Eid are shared with everyone. One part is for our family, allowing us to enjoy the fruits of our sacrifice together. One part is for relatives and friends, strengthening our bonds and spreading joy within our social circle. And one part is for the poor and needy. This act of charity ensures that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, can partake in the celebrations. Sharing is a big part of Eid-ul-Adha. It teaches us the importance of generosity and compassion. It's a time to remember those less fortunate. We are reminded of our duty to help and support those in need. We share our food and our blessings, spreading love and kindness. This act of sharing brings us closer to our community and to God. It's a time to spread joy and happiness. The spirit of Eid-ul-Adha is one of love, compassion, and unity, making it a truly special and memorable occasion for all. Section 5. Memories of Eid. Eid-ul-Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice, holds a special place in my heart. It's a time of joy, reflection, and togetherness. Growing up, Eid-ul-Adha was always special. The anticipation would build up days in advance. I remember the hustle and bustle in our home as we prepared for the big day. The excitement was palpable, especially among us kids. I remember the excitement of waking up early. The first rays of sunlight would barely touch the horizon, and we would already be up, our hearts racing with joy. The air felt different, filled with a sense of celebration and happiness. I remember the new clothes my mom would pick out for me. They were always so beautiful, often adorned with intricate designs and vibrant colors. Wearing them made me feel special, like a prince ready to celebrate a grand festival. And of course, I remember the delicious food. The aroma of traditional dishes wafting through the house was irresistible. From savory biryanis to sweet desserts, every bite was a taste of love and tradition. My favorite part was always spending time with family. We would gather around, sharing stories and laughter. The bond we shared felt stronger during these moments, as if the spirit of Eid brought us even closer. We would go to my grandparents' house. Their home was the heart of our celebrations. It was always beautifully decorated, and the warmth of their love made it even more special. All my cousins would be there. It was like a mini reunion every year. We would catch up, play games, and create memories that would last a lifetime. We would play games and have so much fun. From traditional games to impromptu ones we made up on the spot, the laughter and joy were endless. Those moments of pure, unadulterated fun are etched in my memory. One Eid, I remember my dad letting me help him with the sacrifice. It was a significant moment, a rite of passage in a way. I felt a mix of emotions, from pride to apprehension. I was a little scared at first. The idea of the sacrifice was daunting, but I knew it was an important part of our tradition. But my dad explained everything to me. He spoke about the significance of the sacrifice, the values it represented, and the lessons it taught us. His words were comforting and enlightening. He told me about the importance of the ritual. It was about gratitude, compassion, and sharing with those less fortunate. Understanding this made the experience deeply meaningful. It was a powerful moment for me. Witnessing the sacrifice and understanding its significance left a lasting impact on me. It was a lesson in humility and generosity. Eid-ul-Adha is more than just a festival. It's a time to come together, to celebrate our faith, and to strengthen our bonds with family and community. It's a collection of memories. Each year adds a new chapter to our story, filled with moments of joy, love, and togetherness. It's a reminder of childhood joy. The simple pleasures, the excitement, and the sense of wonder that Eid brings are irreplaceable. It's a celebration of family and tradition. Eid-ul-Adha is a time to honor our heritage, to cherish our loved ones, and to create memories that will be treasured for generations to come. Section 6. Togetherness and Gratitude. Eid-ul-Adha brings people together. It strengthens our bonds. It reminds us of the importance of community. It's a time to put aside our differences. It's a time to embrace our shared humanity. This festival is a time for reflection. It's a time to be grateful for all that we have. It's a time to appreciate our families, our friends, and our blessings. In a world that often feels divided, Eid-ul-Adha offers a message of unity. It reminds us that we are all connected. It encourages us to show compassion and generosity. Let's celebrate Eid-ul-Adha with open hearts and open minds. Let's spread joy and kindness wherever we go. Section 7. Spreading the Joy. Eid-ul-Adha is a beautiful celebration. It's a time for faith, family, and feasting. Share this message of joy and sacrifice. Tell your friends about this special